Good morning, everyone. I am your next discussant, Cristel Duay from English 2B, and today I'm going to continue the discussion about the basic parts of a basketball court. First, let's define what is a basketball court. So, it is a flat playing surface consisting of a rectangular floor designed with specific lines and markings, including baskets on both ends. Basketball court may come in different sizes depending on what level or type of a basketball is being played. So there are two common international basketball organizations that is widely known. First, we have the National Basketball Association. So this is one of the professional basketball league that was formed in the part of North America. And the second one is the International Basketball Federation. It is an organization that is responsible in governing international basketball worldwide. As we can see, one of the main differences between these two associations lies on the size of their basketball court. For the NBA, the length or sideline of the court is measured 94 feet or 28.7 meters long, while its width or the baseline is 50 feet or 15.2 meters wide. Moving on under the rules of FIBA, the assigned size of their court is a bit smaller compared to NBA. Its sideline is 91.9 feet or exactly 28 meters, while the baseline is 49.2 feet or 15 meters wide. So commonly, most of the basketball court in different countries uses the FIBA rules and regulations, including the total size of the court, even the measurements of the court lines. So today, I'm going to show you some of the basic parts of a playing court. If you will remember, the other parts are already discussed last time by Miss Fernando. So this is the continuation of it. Inside of the basketball court, we can notice the painted lines and markings, specifically the free throw lines, 3-point goal area, and the no-charge semicircle. On the other hand, we also have the outside parts, which is the team bench areas and the table officials. First, let's focus on the lines and markings. Free throw line. It is a designated line used as a boundary when shooting free throws. This is also called as foul shots. So how does it work? For example, let's say there's a red and blue team. The red team commits fouls such as pushing or hurting the opponent player. Because of that action, a free throw will be rewarded for the blue team. One of the player in the blue team will stand on this line and attempt to shoot the ball inside the basket. And if the player succeeds, the whole team will get 1 point. So again, this is the free throw line, and if we include this another two lines right here, we can form a rectangular shape which is called the key. At the top of the free throw line, there's a half circle. So this area is bounded for the player who will perform free throws. And another, we can also observe the little lines attached in the sides of the key. So this was called as hash marks. It was designated for the players who will retrieve the ball after the foul shot was made. Also, the players standing on the hash marks are not allowed to go beyond the neutral zone. So that was all of the parts included in a free throw line. Now let's move on with the measurements. So the distance of the free throw line away from the backboard is 15 feet long. Its length doesn't change in any basketball court. Another, parallel from the baseline to the free throw line, the given length in any type of court is 5.80 meters or 19 feet long. In the full width of free throw line, this horizontal line right here, there's a little differences in their measurements. In the rules of FIBA, It's 4.9 meters or 16.08 feet long. In NBA, it's 4.88 meters or 16 feet. And for colleges, it's 3.66 meters or 12 feet wide. In the example right here, you can see the different sizes of a basketball key. Unlike in FIBA or NBA, the free throw line width of a college basketball court is much shorter. It is only limited within the half circle. Lastly, the width of a free throw line attached to semicircle in FIBA and NBA basketball court is equivalent to 3.66 meters or 12 feet long. Next is the three-point field goal. This includes the entire floor area of the playing court except for the area near the opponent's basket. So as the name implies, if the offensive player shoots the ball in the basket without stepping inside of the three-point line, the team will get 3 points. However, if the player already crossed the three-point line and shoots the ball in this area, the team will get 2 points. So in terms of the measurements inside of the three-point goal area, we have the distance of the outer edge of the perpendicular end line, this area, to the sideline. In FIBA, there is 0.90 meters or 2.95 feet gap, while for the NBA, it is 0.91 meters or 2.98 feet. Another, the radius of the arc starting from the exact center of the opponent's basket for FIBA is 6.75 meters or 22.15 feet, while for the NBA, it's 7.24 meters or 23.75 feet long. Finally, the distance of the point on the floor from the inner edge of the midpoint to the end line is the same for FIBA and NBA. It was measured 1.575 meters or 5.17 feet long. There are also another sizes of three-point field goal area, specifically in NCAA or National Collegiate Athletic Association, which can be found in America. This was an organization who regulates athlete students in colleges who play basketball. In the Philippines, we also have NCAA, including the sport of basketball, where 10 of the private colleges or universities in Metro Manila are competing with each other. And according to what I have observed, the size of their basketball court is mainly based in the rules of NBA. So the size of a three-point field goal in NCAA can be divided into two measurements, the men and women court. So the distance from the outer edge of the perpendicular end line to the sideline for women is 1.60 meters or 5.24 feet, while for men, it's 1.29 meters or 4.23 feet long. Moving on, the radius of the arc starting from the exact center of the opponent's basket for women is 19 feet, while for the men, it's 20 feet. Another, the distance of the point on the floor from inner edge of the midpoint to the end line is both 1.60 meters or 5.24 feet. Finally, the no-charge semicircle. The restricted area in basketball is a semicircle arc painted just under the basketball goal that outlines the area on the basketball floor where secondary off-ball defenders are restricted from taking charges. This is the painted line under the basketball ring. So what is the purpose of no-charge semicircle? So for example, if the offensive and defensive players step on this restricted zone and made a physical contact, like when the offensive player is attempting to shoot the ball while the defensive player is trying to block the moves and accidentally touch the opponent, The referee would not consider it as a foul unless one of them intentionally hurt the other opponent. Now let's talk about the measurements. From the center of the basket to the inner edge of the semicircle, its radius in FIBA is equivalent to 1.25 meters or 4.10 feet, while in the NBA, it's 1.22 meters or exactly 4 feet. Next is the length from center of the basket to the backboard. In FIBA, NBA, and colleges, they all have the same sizes, which is 0.375 meters or 1.23 feet long. And lastly, from the inner edge of the backboard to the end line of baseline, all of the basketball courts again have the same measurement, which is 1.20 meters or 3.93 feet long. Okay, now let's move on with the outside parts. Team bench areas. Basically, these are the group of players on a basketball team who are not included at the beginning of the game. They are being reserved, so whenever they are needed inside of the playing court, they can play as a substitute. So according to the rules, the team bench areas are marked outside the playing court, limited by 2 lines. And there must be 14 seats available in the team bench area for the team bench personnel, which includes coaches, assistant coaches, substitutes, excluded players, and team followers. This area also includes the rest of the people who are part of the playing team. Lastly, any other persons must be at least 2 meters or 6 feet behind the team bench. Another is the table officials. The main role of table officials is to facilitate the players and ensure that the game is being played in a fair and safe manner in accordance to the rules. They are responsible for keeping the game run smoothly. According to the rules, table officials shall sit at the center of the table on one side of the court between the team benches. They are responsible for recording the actions that occur during the game and operating the different electronic devices necessary for the proper management of a basketball game. As you can see in the picture below, table officials are composed of 5 people. We have the shot clock operator, timer, the commissioner if they are present, the scorer, and the assistant scorer. On both sides of the table officials, we can see the substitution chairs intended for the player of both teams. So how does it work? For example, if a player inside the court committed 5 fouls, he or she must be disqualified and be replaced by another player on their team. A substitute player have the opportunity to play just by requesting in the officials. And if they are allowed, they will wait at the substitution chairs. Now let's discuss the 5 table officials. The shot clock operator. So the shot clock operator shall be controlling the shot clock. Whenever a team gains control of a live ball on the playing court, that team must attempt a shot for a field goal within 24 seconds. The main duty of the shot clock operator is to measure this time. So the purpose of the shot clock is to track how long do the offensive team is possessing the ball before they shoot it. When the ball already got inside of the basket, the shot clock will automatically stop. Next is the timer. So the timer shall measure playing time, timeouts, and an interval of the play according to the rules of basketball. Unlike the shot clock operator, the timekeeper are responsible for monitoring the game time. The specific duties of a timekeeper are: first, measure playing time, timeouts, and intervals of play. Second, ensure that the game clock signals sounds very loudly and automatically at the end of playing time in a quarter. Quarter refers to the duration of the game, and basketball is divided into 4 quarters. Each quarters have time limit of game time. For example, in FIBA, 1 quarter is equivalent to 10 minutes game time, while for the NBA, it's 12 minutes long. The timekeeper should also have to blow his whistle simultaneously with the game clock signal sound or use any other means possible to notify the referees immediately if his signal fails to sound or is not heard. Another, notify the teams and the officials at least 3 minutes before the third quarter is to start so that the coaches will prepare their players. Timekeepers also notify the teams and the officials when the end of timeouts or intervals of play are approaching. Finally, if a field goal is scored against a team which has requested a timeout, the timer shall immediately stop the game clock and sound his signal. The third important person in a table officials is the commissioner. It is the person who is responsible for the administration of the organization and undertakes several administrative tasks that enable the association to run smoothly and efficiently. The commissioner supervises the activities of the organizations, such as arranging for game referees, scheduling games, and they're also the one who deals with the media. One example is the commissioner and the chief executive of the NBA, Adam Silver. The fourth one is the scorer. The scorer shall keep a record of the score sheet according to the basketball rules. As a part of the table officials, scorers are instructed to record the following: teams. In here, the scorer collects the names of each active players, including the substitute players of both teams. Next is the running summary of points scored. This talks about the field goals and free throw scores of a team. In foul charge, the scorer must notify the referee if a player already commits 5 personal fouls. This means that the player already reached the maximum fouls and he or she must be disqualified and be replaced by the substitute. Another is timeouts, wherein the scorer must inform the officials and coaches about the remaining time in timeouts. And also they control the next alternating possession, wherein the scorer will continuously update and show an arrow on the table to identify which team is possessing the ball. And the fifth and last table official is the assistant scorer. So the assistant scorer shall operate the scoreboard and constantly assist the scorer. They also have specific duties wherein the assistant scorer should check if the game clock is working together with the shot clock, verify if LEDs or characters in the scoreboard are visible, and also they are responsible for correcting the scores or number of fouls in case of errors. And that ends my report. Thank you for listening.